Hello and welcome to Influential Breathwork. Today on this episode, we're diving into the science behind breathwork and its impact on sleep. So, in a world where sleep disorders affect millions of people, could the answer lie in something as simple as our breath? Well, let's explore the facts around this. Let's look at some of the research that's being done. So first of all, let's understand sleep itself. So our sleep occurs in cycles, each of which are lasting about 90 minutes. These cycles are the stages of light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep. And each stage plays a really crucial role in our physical and mental restoration. And we know that breath work, breathing, can also have an amazing effect on our physical and mental health. So how does this fit in with breathing? What are we talking about here? Well, it all starts with our autonomic nervous system, which has two main branches, the sympathetic, beginning with an S that I always think of as S for stress, which activates our fight or flight response, and the parasympathetic branch of the nervous system, which I think of as parasympathetic P for peace, which is responsible for our rest and digest function. Our breathing patterns change as we move through different stages of sleep. Now, during deep sleep, our breathing becomes slower and more regular. But it's not just about how we breathe while we sleep. It's about how we breathe before bed that can significantly impact our ability to fall asleep and the quality of our sleep. So let's look at some interesting research. In 2019, a study published by the Journal of Clinical Medicine found that slow, deep breathing exercises before bed increased parasympathetic activity, leading to improved sleep quality. Another study from the National Centre of Biotechnology Information showed that controlled breathing can increase melatonin. Controlled breathing can increase melatonin production, which is our body's natural sleep hormone. So we want more of that in our body, more of that being produced as we're going into sleep. But what about some of the common breathing issues that affect sleep? Well, sleep apnea is a condition where breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep. And it affects approximately, I don't have the stats around the UK, but there's approximately 22 million Americans struggle with this every single night. And this breathing pattern can then lead to snoring and massively disruptive sleep patterns, which is not good for your cognition, for your mental well-being. It's not good for your health. It's not good for your relationship because you simply can't focus. You're exhausted all of the time. So there are then some scientifically backed breathwork exercises that can improve sleep. One of which is the 4-7-8 technique, where you inhale for 4 seconds, you hold for 7, and then you exhale for 8. So this pattern in particular has been shown that it can reduce anxiety to prepare the body for sleep, get all those thoughts out of your head. However, I do have a bit of a disclaimer here in that if you're going to do a hold over anything of 4 counts, you really want to make sure that you're definitely not pregnant or in the early stages of pregnancy, and that you are, from a cardiovascular health point of view, you have good cardiac health, no highs or lows of blood pressure that are not being medicated. Another great way is diaphragmatic breathing. We often refer to it at Influential Breathwork as belly breath, slow belly breathing. And this activates the parasympathetic nervous system by promoting relaxation. And one of the ways that it does this is by really getting the diaphragm to move a lot more so that we're also activating the vagus nerve. And when that happens, we are really promoting relaxation through our body. That then is also coupled with the fact that there are all sorts of techniques you can use in your everyday waking life to help you be able to sleep at night. But there are lots of derivatives of those teachings, many of which we cover in Influential Breathwork. Some have really come from incredible research done by Oxygen Advantage and Patrick McEwen over there. And basically with this method, we're aiming to reduce overbreathing and to improve your tolerance to CO2, carbon dioxide, And then as a knock-on effect, there is the sleep quality improvement. And when we improve the sleep, we improve so much in our lives. Now, the way that this works, as you've heard me talking about on this channel over and over again, is that we really want to get you breathing through your nose predominantly. Many of us breathe through our mouth, and when we do that, it tells our body that we need to stay being really stressed. So in order to really get your sleep to recover, get used to breathing through your nose during the day, because it makes you belly breathe as well. And when you're ready and you practice having maybe 20 minutes or an hour during the day with a little bit of tape on your mouth, then make sure that you put that tape on before you go to sleep. You can either just use some micropore tape that's easy to get on and off, or you can actually get special strips purposely built for mouth taping that have a little slit in the middle so you can still talk, but it's a lot harder, and encourages you to just keep your mouth closed. And what this does is it helps you change the biomechanical way that you're breathing, because it's making sure you belly breathe, it's making sure that you're optimizing the quality of the air that you're taking in, because when you breathe through your nose, the air is filtered, and all sorts of other magical stuff that happens, which is not for today's episode. But what you're then able to do, usually within 2 or 3 days of beginning to do this mouth taping overnight, is that your sleep drastically improve. We're going to cover a lot about mouth taping in another episode, so watch out for this one on the channel. And if you're not following us already, make sure you go subscribe right now, because that one, if you're struggling with sleep, is going to help you massively. So breathwork can be a really powerful tool for improving sleep. But I'm not claiming, and nor should anybody else in the breathwork space, claim that it is a cure-all. You've got to make sure if you're doing any deep breathing or you're changing your breathing, that you've got the okay from a health professional, and that you are working with someone who really knows what they're doing in that functional breathing space. P.S. We have lots of trained graduate and students in the influential breathwork who have come out of our academy and are having stellar results with clients. So looking ahead then, there is so much more research being done into controlled breathing and how it can impact how we think, feel, and sleep. And particularly, there's lots of research being done into controlled breathing and how it can be used to treat insomnia without medication. And there's some recent studies that have been done at Cambridge University as well that I'm going to be sharing in another episode. So watch or listen to this space. So to conclude then, the science is clear. How we breathe absolutely significantly impacts our sleep. But you've got to understand what you need to do and when, so that you get into that parasympathetic nervous system state, so that you're changing your brainwave state, which is something we've not covered today and we will in another episode, to allow the breath to really help you get into that deep quality sleep. Now, on the YouTube channel Influential Breathwork, we have a whole host of breathing exercises, giving you the foundations of the functional side of breath. And also we have incredible resources such as hypnosis tracks and guided visualization, some of which are about sleep and how to get your body, your mind, that neural programming in your mind so that your body allows you to sleep even more fully. And also, I can't do something about sleep on this channel and not talk to you about our proprietary technique called Breath Healing Release Method, which can phenomenally help you to get rid of all of those stresses, all of those worries, all of that anxiety, to give yourself a reset and to help you release a lot of your worry that's connected with not sleeping in a somatic way through the body, because it's super powerful. If you've enjoyed this episode, make sure you give us a follow, comment below, let me know how long you've been struggling with sleep, and are you going to give some of these breathing techniques a try?